Hello, Internet. This is the F710 brought to you by Logitech. This is the refurbished version to save a couple of bucks, manufacturer refurbished. Looks brand new. Really happy with that purchase. There'll be links in the description whether you're interested in this new or used. On the back there, you got some texture. It's really nice. On the front here, it's just like a PlayStation controller, but there's two extra buttons there. You got a vibration button, and you've got the mode button. The mode button switches between the D-pad and analog sticks. As you can see with my hand around it, fits really well. It's got a really nice weight to it. It's actually much heavier than the 8BitO and the F310, much heavier because there is a battery compartment here, especially once you put the two AA batteries in there. It does add a little more weight. It's got two motors in each of the corners, lower left, lower right hand corners for the vibration. That's the little dongle. So it's a plug-and-play controller. You just plug it into your Pi or plug it into your computer, and it auto-detects using that dongle. I'm using rechargeable batteries. That way I can just recharge them rather than putting in new batteries each time. But you can have the option of doing either or. Next up is going to be the USB extension. That's for the nano receiver. So for example, if your Pi or your computer is underneath your desk, you can use this 6 to 8, I think it's like 6 or 8 feet, I'm not exact, feet cord to extend the nano receiver to get a better signal. The receiver is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless receiver, and from my experience it has a really good range on it, and it's plug and play, which is awesome. I'm going to pull out the F310. I also have this controller. The F310 and the F710 are practically identical, and you're going to see that in a moment here as I put them side by side. But the F310 on the left there, A, is a different color, but it's also a wired controller, so it's not wireless. Also, the F310 is much lighter because it doesn't have batteries and it doesn't have those vibrate. It doesn't vibrate either, so it doesn't have those motors. And so because of that, the weight is much different. But the actual analog sticks, the actual D-pad, and the actual buttons, I think are the same. I think they're using the same products for that. The other thing, it doesn't have the F310 on the left there. It doesn't have the texture. The upper buttons are exactly the same. The X, Y, A, and B buttons are exactly the same. They both have a mode button. The D-pad feels the same. The analog sticks have the same kind of texture on the top of them. So for those reasons, they're very identical. They both come with the switch, the F710 at the top there, and then on F310 it's on the back. And there's the X and Y, which switches between like a digital and a different signal setup for the controller. So they both have that feature. They're both Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8 compatible, so they make a really great all-around controller. They also do work with Android TV as well. Let's try it on the Pi. All right, you can already just plug and play. This is awesome. Holding down a button, found it, no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and configure up, down, left, right on the D-pad. Start, select, A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right triggers, thumb in, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. Super responsive. This thing has its own dongle, its own wireless 2.4 gigahertz dongle. Connection is great. I've tested it now up to 10 feet, no problems at all. Feels great. It's like I said, it's got a nice heft to it. Let's play it a couple games, a couple comments on it. If you like the F310, you're gonna like this controller. It takes the F310, makes it twice as heavy. One of the reasons I didn't like the F310 was it was a little light. Makes it 3 times as heavy. And let's mess with these analog sticks a little bit. And it adds vibration, and it adds the wireless. So I think that's totally worth the additional price. So what I don't like about the controller is it is a little clickety-clackety. Some people like that, some people do not. Super responsive, no delay whatsoever. It also has vibration. It's dual vibration, so it's got a motor in each corner of the controller. I think that probably is what adds weight to it. It's got digital and analog, or these two different settings for inputs on the upper area here. We're on the F310, it's on the back. It does take 2 AA batteries, as mentioned. So you can see it's kind of clickety-clackety. Oh man, whoops. So I got a little wild there. Upper buttons feel good. It does have this kind of texture on the back, like a satin almost texture.
which makes it way easier to hold, and it doesn't ever get slippery like a smooth plastic might. But I don't know if you can hear that, but like every time I hit the D-pad, it's got a clickety-clackety noise. Same with the buttons if we were to play like a fighter game. You know, I think this really competes a lot with the PlayStation 3 controller, but because it works with Android TV and all these other things, it comes with its own nano receiver, as well as you get the USB extension. It definitely has some pros for those reasons. Where the PlayStation 3 is just a Bluetooth. So you're using the onboard Bluetooth, or you have to, you're either using the onboard Bluetooth, or you have to get a dongle. Oh, don't hit that. I want to do anything but hit that. So we're going to start select out. It did have the vibrations going on as well. So really cool for Nintendo 64. It also does have the mode button. So you can switch to the D-pad to the analog stick with the press of a button, even when you're in game. The biggest complaint I saw on a lot of what other people were saying was that the northeast, northwest, the D-pad is great, but to get it in the corner, go diagonals, was a little more difficult. And then some people didn't like how heavy it was. Some people don't like that it's AA batteries, you know, versus like a built-in battery. I like the AA battery because you can replace it so easily, and it's such a common battery. I definitely like the vibrations. I like that it has that nano receiver. The buttons being clickety-clackety, that might be a downside to some people, but it's got a lot of ups. These analog sticks have kind of a textured, kind of like a dog nose, if you will. I know that sounds kind of weird, but just like a dog, you know how a dog's nose is kind of rough? It's kind of got that same feel. I'm sure they're not killing dogs for these controllers. If they were, I wouldn't be using this. And get those crabs. What else do I like? The nano receiver's really good. It comes with that extension, so if you're going far away, you can extend the receiver out, so you're not. Whoa! I thought I almost died from the bubbles. Bubbles. So you can extend it out, so I can put it like on top of my TV, or if my Pi is wall mounted, I can go ahead and extend it. Is that a mosquito or a grasshopper? Whoa! Oh man, he's wrecking me. Ouch. So I can go ahead and press this mode button, and now I'm using the analog stick to control him. So it's cool that you can, in the game, switch between analog stick or D-pad, no matter what system you're playing. I meant to jump. Jeez. Okay, so that works really well. And just like when you're on that mode button, so since I had it on, even in Emulation Station now, I've switched from using the analog stick to from the D-pad to the analog stick. So when the mode button is on, there's a little green light that's on right here, right there. You now can no longer, it switches from the D-pad to the analog stick. Overall, I'm really liking it. Really good range. I mean, it has everything. It's nice. The reason I didn't buy this controller before was primarily the price. At $50, it's a little pricey to me. But I'm putting a link in the description for the refurbished one. I'm a big fan of manufacturer refurbished, because that means the manufacturer. Whoa, that's backwards. So I'm on the D-pad still, so this should be fun. Or I'm on the analog stick. So like a game like Micro Machines that's always been played with the D-pad, especially for the Nintendo version, I'm now playing it on the analog stick, which is kind of fun. But the price. I'm a big fan of manufacturer refurbished. I have to double check the warranty that comes with it. But my experience with controllers is that if out of the box they work, and you get it from a reputable seller, who do I want to race? Dwayne and Joel and Bonnie. Then usually I don't have issues for a while. If you buy it new though, it comes with a 3-year hardware warranty. Now I'm sure that just covers the the actual device itself. When you buy manufacturer refurbished, it's probably less of a warranty. But I mean, for $30, that's what I'm using the refurbished one right now, just so everyone knows. I bought the refurbished one. And it still comes with everything. Comes with the extension, comes with the nano receiver, comes with the extension cord, and it comes with the original owner's manual. I didn't really check the warranty. I'm not really interested in the warranty. As long as it works, I mean, it's a controller. More likely than not, it'll probably break from me dropping it. And usually that doesn't count in the warranty. So, and it does work with Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Android TV, and there seems to be like a Kodi similar to. It should work for Kodi, no problem, in Raspberry Pi, but also they have their own like streaming service that it works for. So there you go. Let's get out of here. So let's just finish up this review here. Love the controller. Sorry, the green screen's a little messed up. It's a really cool controller. Love the weight. Love the mode button. It's like a really nice PlayStation controller that just works on a lot of devices. And because of that nano receiver, this is the nano receiver here, it has its own USB receiver. So I'm not actually connecting it through the Pi's Bluetooth. It has its own 2.4 gigahertz receiver, and it's plug and play. One of the easiest wireless, okay, this is for fact, easiest wireless controller I've ever configured. Because with the Wii U and the PlayStation, you got to go into RetroPie, you got to go find the device, you got to connect it, you got to repair it each time. I mean, this is all auto. It's super like plug and play. So for those reasons, I love it. I did tell you some downsides to it. The clickety clack, I mean, that's with most controllers. I don't know many quiet controllers. The Wii U is pretty quiet, but that doesn't bother me. Usually the game volume is louder than the controller anyways, if you're gaming. And the construction, I'm happy with the construction so far. There's a lot of little details like that with textures and the way it looks, and it's really responsive, like the D-pad. So for those reasons, it gets a thumbs up. It's a great controller to have in your arsenal. If it was me and I only wanted, I would get one Wii U and one F710 for 2 players. If I wanted wireless controllers, I would get one of each because I really like the Wii U, but I also like this. And if I'm playing on the PlayStation Image, you know I'm going to be rocking this thing. If I'm playing a Nintendo game, I'll be rocking the Wii U. So they each kind of have their place, but they're both really great controllers and get highly recommended by me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you could please like, I'd really appreciate it. You can subscribe to the channel. I got way more reviews, way more Pi stuff, and other cool stuff coming up. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Possibly the best review for this controller.